Investment Challenge, day 22, and today is going to be another day of requests. So I'm going to be looking at Stillfront, Prostalund, and THQ Nordic. I'm also going to recap the trial that ended yesterday. That was against the Swedish students who were convicted of manipulating stock prices. So you wanted me to analyze Stillfront Group, and according to their homepage, they're an independent creator, publisher, and distributor of digital games. And some of their titles are Unravel, Gladiator Online, and Call of War. And the company is valued at 420 million as of today. So let's look at the chart here. IPO'd about a year ago, and it's been kind of rocky for them, up and down. And why these big moves? And it looks strange. A company that moves this much, it kind of looks fishy. But if we analyze what happened here, okay, we IPO'd here, and this is normal. You always see this, it just skyrockets up the first couple of days of trading. So that always happens. And sooner or later it'll have to end, and then people get scared and start selling off, and it normally starts dropping down onto the point where it was IPO'd at. And then nothing really much happened to this company. It just moved along. And around here they released their report, which was very, very good, and it went up again. So it's not as strange as it looks. The report was way better than everybody expected, so it moved a lot. And looking at this is EBITDA. The company is growing, and everything with the numbers look good, according to me. One thing that I'm a little bit worried about here is the Call of War is the biggest title they have, and it turned over 40 million since May 2015, and that is about 25% of the total turnover. And they say that this is getting lower and lower. The game is not so popular anymore, and it's not as new anymore, and they're not marketing it anymore. So it kind of makes sense that it's losing, but something have to come up and take the place of this. And the newest thing that happened is the Modern War, released as a beta a couple of days ago, and we still don't really know how this game will be accepted by the market. So we don't know if Call of War is going to continue to go down, and the Modern War will take over its place. And I tried to figure out what else is going to happen in 2017, but it's kind of hard to figure out. And I also should mention, I do a lot of analysis of gaming companies, but I personally don't play any games. So I don't know these titles, and I don't know how to really, I'm not in the community of gaming. So I can just look at the big picture. And the target numbers, depending on which analysis you look at, if we look, for example, of the one at Red Eye, its worst case is 32 kroner, and base case is 110, and best case is 210. So it's kind of a big difference there between 32 and 210, and that tells me that it's going to be really hard to say how this company will perform the next year. And it's trading at 77 kroner a day about it. So that makes it very low down to 32 and very high up to 210. So the case here, turning over more and losing less is always a good thing. That is going in the right direction. And they're also investing their money in a good way, both by these games, developing these games and selling them, and that's moving along, it's looking better and better, but they're also acquiring other companies in a good way, American Studios, Electronics, and Vitro Labs, for example, during this year. So I do think that you have to do this in gaming. I think you have to acquire companies for this to be profitable. And it looks to me that they have a good business model here. And the risk, as always here, the valuation, when something was IPO'd at below 60 a couple of months ago, and it's 77 now, and nothing really much happened, I can't buy this high, unfortunately. I would have loved to buy around 60 there. And then we have Prostalund. It's a medtech company, urology, and they have something called the core therm, and what it is prostate enlargement treatment with heat. And kind of small company, valued at 72 million today. And this is the graph. You can see here, as everything else, it just goes up when it IPOs and it starts moving down. And then something happens. It was given a couple of buy recommendations around here, went up again, and it started moving down. Because no matter how hyped up something gets, the company still needs to deliver. We still need to see the numbers. Actually, the company start making money. Otherwise, we're going to grow tired of it and start selling. And that's what happened here. It's really all-time low there. And before I started recording, I actually looked back at this company, and rally today almost 20% up. And the reason for this is that Hans Östling bought 40,000 shares at 6.25, and a couple of days earlier Magnus Malmskär bought 16,000 shares also at 6.25. And we spoke about this a couple of days ago, the insider trader, how important it is to see that the leaders of the company have faith in it. And I wouldn't really count this one as having big faith in the company, because if you're CEO of a public company and you buy stocks, 40,000 stocks at 6.25, that's not a lot of money. That's kind of nothing at all. Same goes with 16,000. It's not a big amount. So it doesn't really say that much. And also, if you're able to buy something at 6.25 and the stock is trading at 7.50, of course you're going to buy. So it doesn't really do too much for me, and nothing fundamental changed with the company. So in this case, even though the CEO and a board member both bought, I think they bought too little, and I don't see what else is going on in the company. So even if it maybe will rally up, and this could be a decent swing trade, I'm not going to buy a company like this to put in my long-term portfolio, because it's just not going to start making money. So I don't really see a case here. I don't see anything that says buy. And also the risk I'd see, first of all, it's going to run out of money again, and I have to, if I invest, I have to put in more money to not be diluted too much. And also it's kind of a one-trick pony. It's just these prostate enlargement with heat. And if this is not a preferred model of this treatment, then this company it's over with. So I'd want to see them do something else, preferably also in prostate enlargement, but not just one thing. So I'm not buying this company. And THQ Nordic, should mention before I start talking about this, I own this company already, and I have to say that. Also gaming company, they have their own games, and that is 56% of the turnover, and then they have licensed games, and they say that the core business is buying underperforming titles and making them better again to start making money. Company valuation at 2.3 billion Swedish. So some of their titles: XL, Guild 3, Broken Age. And if we look at the graph here again, we had an IPO and went straight up as everything else, and then it went down when nothing really much happened. And then the 5th of December, that's here, and that's exactly the bottom here, it was released that they acquired a couple of studios with games in them. And then we have news, and news are often enough to kick something off, and that's what happened here. So nobody really read, okay, what was the price of these games? Are they going to make money? Just the fact that something happened in a company, that's often enough to kick a company like this off. So as I said, I own this company, but I'm not really interested in buying more at these levels. I thought it was reasonably priced here, and fundamentally, yeah, sure, they have some new titles, but we don't really know much else than that. So the business case here, why I bought it in the first place, it's a good company and it's a good business model, and the risk that I see is that it's kind of expensive at the moment. Okay, so for the last part of this recording, the medical students, this was kind of a big thing in Sweden, because kind of strange that this went to trial. Of course they did something illegal, but compared to the big guys and how they manipulate the market, this is not a big thing. They made a total of 2.5 million kroner, and that's nothing. And they did this in 14 companies. Also, basically what they did is they set up accounts on a couple of forums, and they went out and wrote really well written analysis of the companies, claiming to be these doctors or lawyers or whatever they said. And this was enough to get the stock moving. I think one of the companies almost went 100% up, and then they sold into this this flow of buyers, so made a lot of money doing this. And they were sentenced to a conditional sentence and a fine, and of course they lose the 2.5 million kroner. And I'm not going to analyze whether I think this is reasonable or a good punishment for them, but my take on this is these are really small guys. Of course they should be punished for manipulating stock prices, and a lot of people are down a lot of money because of these guys. But there are bigger fish to fry here. And also, if I were these guys, it's kind of obvious you're gonna get caught, and you risk this for making 2.5 million kroner. If it was big, if you were possibly making 200 million Swedish kroner, go for it. But 2.5 million kroners and you risk going to jail is just stupid. And the way they did it was also very, very stupid. It's like, sure, hype the company, but do not sell into the flow. Just keep it and sell it later, or don't make it so obvious. It's just incredibly stupid. And that's also why these things are so dangerous, because, for example, here the company is moving down and news coming out, and you read some article saying how good this is for the company. You read a post on a forum and you start buying. Oftentimes it could be something like this. Someone is interesting in making the company move up to get rid of a post they had for a very long time. So you never know. If you don't do the analysis yourself, you never know the reason why things happen, or if it's reasonable or not. So what you should take out of this is, do not listen to everyone, do not listen to anyone even. Do not listen to me. Do your own research, otherwise you will be in trouble when this happens. So that's it for today. Thank you.